Hello, good morning. Hope everyone is keeping well. So after a bit of a hiatus, I'm finally turning my attentions back to my uncle's old Hilux. So what we're doing today is sills. So got a couple of holes on each side that I need to weld up, and I thought it'd be easier to just put it back on the trailer, so at least I'm working at a better height. I did have a question on the previous video, will I be doing any sill work, and yeah, the answers are definite yes. I don't know what the inside sills are going to be like. Actually I can already see a hole at the far end, which I'm going to have to do something about. So another hole there, so yeah, so I've got a bit of sill work to do. You can buy brand new outside sills for these, but me being completely skinflint, I am just using stuff that I can find. So I've got these bits here which are leftover panels that I brought for the van, and yes, I'm being a complete hypocrite. Buying bits for the van but not for the Hilux, so but yeah, so we're going to be bodging that up today. I also had someone ask me what paint I used on the chassis. It's nothing special at all. It's literally just Hammerite. It's one of these paints. It's sort of a bit like Marmite. You either love it or hate it. I find it's good for this sort of stuff. I just want something I can quick and easily chuck on that lasts for a reasonable period of time. So yeah, I'll chuck a face mask on, and we'll have a little dig around, a little tidy up, and then get the welder out. I've got a different welder with me today. I'll have a much smaller welder for this sort of work, which I'll show you in a moment. So yeah, so I'll chuck a mask on, and then start cleaning up and see how bad it really is. Yeah, so this is the little welder I'm going to be using today. It's about 20 years old. It's been kicked around, beaten to death, but it keeps working. It's not too bad for this sort of work. I've got it on gasless wire, so I can get right into any little nooks and crevices. I don't have to have a shield on it or anything. Although if you're eagle-eyed, I'm sure you'll spot I've still got a little gas bottle on the back. That's been on there for about 10 years. I really need to get rid of that and make it a bit lighter. But yeah, so that's what we're using today. Just a 20-year-old. I don't even know what it is. What is it? Clark 151 TE. Don't even know if they're still available, but it'll do the job. It'll do the job. Okay, so this is my first patch done. It's ended up being quite bigger than I was expecting. I've literally just chucked her over to my uncle, don't mind black hammerite, because that's what he's had chucked on it. I don't know how well the paint will take to this section here, because that's actually stainless steel from an old baking tray that got chucked out of our house the other week. I need to chuck a couple more coats on this. But yeah, so that's sort of another patch there. Like I say, I need to put some more paint on this. Probably put a layer of grease on it as well, although I don't suppose the MOT tester will like that too much. But yes, that's that side for the moment. I think I'm going to now turn my attention to this and see, just as a social experiment, I want to see whether it'll be easier for me to weld a patch on from the inside for the actual inside sill, but we'll see. Just got to fill this hole in now. Right, so I just finished this corner. I'm actually quite happy with how that one's come out, actually, considering the amount I put back into it. It's better than the other side, I think. So yeah, chuck some paint on it, and then I have to think about doing the inside fronts, which I'm not looking forward to. Right, so on the near side, this is what I've got to try to weld up. So it's basically from here, and it's about 60 centimeters I've got to cut out. And there's also a small hole back there. So I'll cut out roughly a 60 centimeter length by 2 inches, and yeah, I'll have to start welding that in. There's probably people out there who'd say I should really be cutting that dead metal out, which is probably right, but I can't be bloody bothered. I'll probably, once it's all welded into place, I'll probably put a ton of spray grease or something up on the inside to try to look after it. Right, so we've got my sheet of metal tacked up in there. It's going to take quite some time to weld this into place. I'm probably not going to bother recording this next bit because it's literally me laying underneath with sparks going everywhere. So I'm going to get on, weld this up, and then I'll show you what it looks like afterwards, and then we'll see about moving on to the driver's side. Right. Okay, so where are we? So we are about there for this side. As ever, it's not my best welding attempt, but it'll do. So that's all welded in there nicely. I can chuck some paint on it, and then we'll have to see about cutting out the offside front sill, which is by far the worst. Okay, so this is a offside front. This is by far the worst. So it's completely rotten all the way back, all the way back to almost as far as the front door. But also, this is completely rotten. Can't remember what you call it now. This bit that juts down is rotten as well. So what I'm probably going to do is cut the whole lot out. So cut across here and follow this line across. Cut the whole lot out. I might try and save a little bit of this. So I've got something to weld on to. Although that's got a load of rust jacking in there. So we'll cut it up to at least here. Might lose this outer skin, but yeah, so got quite a lot of cutting to do. This is by far, I probably should have done this side first, but I couldn't bring myself to do it, so we'll get the cutter out and start cutting and see what we're left with, and go from there really. Oh, if it's got me sleeve. Right. So. I need to tidy this up a bit more. I need to tidy that up a bit more. But effectively, this is about what we've been left with. So I've cut all that out. It's a bit bizarre because there's probably someone who knows a lot more about Hilux than me, but it looks like there's an inner sill as well, or was. So yes, that's the dirty grey big hole I've got to patch up next. So I need to go away and have a measure up and see what metal I've got and see about how I'm going to do this. So you might have to bear with me on this one. This might take a little while. There's that little bit welded in place now, so that's the outer sill done. It was a bit thin there, kept blowing bloody holes in it, but got there eventually. I'll go over it with a flat disc and tidy it up a little bit. So yeah, that's the outer sill. Just about had enough in one length to do it. So now it leaves us to the inner sill. Right, well, I'm getting there. So that's the outside all joined in. I've done, I don't know how well you can see that actually. I've done a good chunk of the inside, and I put an extra little plate there as well because of course, sure enough, there was another hole there. So I've done that little lot. The only thing I've got left to do really is this last little hole here, and that's partly because I just didn't have any piece of metal that was long enough in one sheet, so I'll try and sort out that very end, and then that will about do it for the moment. Right, okay, so we're about there now. I didn't bother recording that very last little bit, but it's just up in there. I'll put the last little patch on, put a thick coat of paint on it, and there's a couple more coats on this side. Probably the most awkward bit was this little patch here, because this that little patch there, so that was some small pinholes, but then I ended up having to come right up into here, and there wasn't much space, but I managed to get there in the end. So yes, that's all patched up, got some paint on it, and the other side's similar story now. That is, good trip over my bucket. I had a sweep up earlier, and that's all the crap I swept out from underneath. And but anyway, this is similar. So got a thick coat of paint on there, and same thing, thick coat of paint. So the only thing I want to do now is put the bungs back in. And then once that's done, the only other thing I want to do is try to do something to prevent it from rusting from the inside out. So I might get a load of liquid grease or something and pour it in through these rear holes, so I can fill the inside of the sills up with some grease, and hopefully that'll look after it for a while. But yeah, having it on this trailer did make life a lot easier, I must admit. I'm probably going to leave it on this trailer for the moment, because there's a couple of small jobs I'd like to do, which I think leaving it on this trailer will make life a bit easier as well. So yeah, that's about it for this one. It took probably about I think it's taken me about 4 or 5 weekends, so I can't be sometimes on a Sunday morning for a few hours, so I've probably spent probably 2 or 3 good full days welding it up. But again, just like the chassis really, it was quite a lot worse than I was expecting, especially this front bit. But that's alright, we're there now. We are there now, so that should hopefully be the last of the horrible awkward jobs, and we can start getting on some mechanical jobs. Anyway, hope you enjoy it, hope you're keeping well, and I'll see you in the next one.